Chrissy B and welcome to my show. Now you may not know this already, but this month is National Walking Month, and of course here at the Chrissy B Show, anything that's good for your mental health we're going to cover for you, our lovely viewers. So if you at home have been involved in an event in support of National Walking Month, tell us about it by tweeting us at Chrissy B Show or leave a message on our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. Also tweet us your photos and videos as we would love to see them, and of course we'll feature them on our show. Now today's guests are former British Airways co-pilot James Heather and also author and businesswoman Jackie Rom, who'll both be telling us their different tales about not giving up when times got tough and taking things one step at a time to fulfill their life's goals. Also, earlier this week, I joined the Kensington and Chelsea Health Walk group for a walk in Battersea Park in celebration of National Walking Month. So you'll see the first part of that video just before the break. But first, let's find out the advantages of power walking by our resident fitness expert, Jane Rafter. Over to you, Jane.
Hi everybody, it's Jane here with your fitness tips, and today I'd like to talk to you about the advantages of power walking. And if you've seen my clips before, you'll know I'm a great fan of power walking, and there are several reasons for that. So if someone who's not fit, quite deconditioned, says to me, I really don't know where to start, say they've had bad knees or a bad back and they just feel very unfit, I always say start with walking. Normal walking if you're feeling really unfit, and then build up to power walking. So that just means that you're walking at a pace enough to really raise your heart rate. You never actually run, so it's very gentle on the joints, but you walk in at quite a pace as though you're late for something, and you just keep walking. And in terms of how long, you know, if you're feeling really unfit, you start with 10 minutes and you build it up and you build it up. So you can build up the speed and you can build up the duration of time. My advice is to get yourself some good running shoes, because although you're not running, you're still walking at quite a pace, and you do want support for your ankles. You're less likely to fall over. And it supports the knees and the back as well. Maybe get a buddy to go with you. It's nice to have a chat and a walk. Maybe get a dog or borrow someone's dog. There's loads of beautiful outdoor places you can get fresh air. It's good for you psychologically as well as physically. So set yourself a walking program, and I guarantee you'll feel fit and hopefully you'll really enjoy it as well. So good luck, and I'll see you next time.
So thank you very much to the lovely Jane. So as she recommended, this week I went to do a bit of walking myself. I'm at the Kensington and Chelsea Health Walk group in their weekly session around the lovely Battersea Park. Let's take a look. To celebrate National Walking Month, I'm here at Battersea Park and I'm going to be meeting a lovely group, the Kensington and Chelsea Walking Group. Let's go meet them. So I'm here with Beth and Simon from the Kensington and Chelsea Health Walks, and they're going to tell us a bit more about how this all started. So hi guys. Hi again. So I really enjoyed the walk today. So let's start with Beth. So how did you get into this in the first place?
Well, I've only been doing the job for 3 months, but the walk itself I've been running for about over 10 years or so now. Yeah, and we've got our accreditation in March, so that we run with Walking for Health. So we walk with, it works with them, so everybody can go from all over, not just Kensington and Chelsea.
Now what would you say are the main benefits of doing something like this, Simon?
There's a health benefit. A lot of the walkers, well, nearly all the walkers, bar 1 or 2, are over 50. And we are, touch wood, we're all in good health, and that's testimony to the walking that people do, such that it's not a very long walk, but when people don't do the walk for a while, then they feel this is, they miss the walks and they feel a little less fit. The other side is the social side, and that's the health side. It makes people feel relaxed. They talk to others. There's a social setting. I said before, talked about this theory I have about twarking, which is you talk and you walk, and the two are mutually beneficial.
the great thing about these walks as well is that it's absolutely free.
Yeah, so all 5 of the walks are free, and even when we do the special walks, as we would call them, they're all free as well. So anybody can go to them, and we do market them and like send direct. We have like a flyer with all of the walks on, and we send them to organisations. So it does get out to quite a lot of people. So hopefully we get some more people as well.
So we'll take a look at some more of that later on. Now, before and after you have any fitness session, even if it's something mild like a walk in the park, make sure you have a nutritious meal to give you the energy you need.
Hi and welcome to MTS Kitchen. My name is Ben, and today I'm going to be giving you a healthy alternative to fast food. So I'm going to be making a superfood chili with cauliflower rice. So this is all my ingredients. We're going to start off, we've got a pan, just heating some olive oil. As that heats up, we're going to be now adding the more aromatic ingredients. We've got chili, we've got some garlic, and I've got the stalks of some coriander. Then we're going to throw in the rest of it, and I'll talk you through that as we go. We've got some cumin as well. Cumin's actually great for the blood, so we're going to add that in just as a health aspect, but also as a flavour. So as soon as that starts to sizzle and just sweat, we're going to add in the meat. Okay, so the beef is all browned, and now we're going to add the rest of the ingredients. So we've got just 1 red onion, and I've got a red and green pepper just chopped up as well. So we're going to add those 2 in to cook them down with all the flavours of the meat, the chili, the garlic, and those coriander stalks, which people throw away, but they're full of flavour, and we've got to get them in as well. Okay, so the onions and the peppers have been cooking down for about 2-3 minutes max, and we're going to add the other ingredients now. So we've got just an organic tin of tomatoes, and we've got some organic kidney beans as well. So they're going to go in. So lid back on for about 5 or 10 minutes just to cook that down. So now we're going to cook down the cauliflower rice and just chop that up small. All it is cauliflower chopped up small, but it forms that nice rice texture that everybody loves. Cauliflower is one of those vegetables which is called cruciferous as well, and cruciferous vegetables are very good for your hormone balance. So eat loads and loads of cruciferous vegetables if you're worried about your hormones. And remember that this will not take long. And we'll pop the lid on, and that'll be ready in about 5 or 10 minutes whilst this is cooking down. Into that we've got some spinach. So some fresh organic spinach. Throw that in. Like you would with rice, just place it into your serving bowl. All that superfood spinach in there, and we're just going to place that on. Smells amazing. A fast food alternative, which is healthy, full of colour and nutrients, and tastes amazing.
Now, after the break, we'll meet one remarkable individual whose main objective in life was to be able to walk again after a very traumatic accident. So don't go away.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to the Chrissy B Show. So if you've just joined us, today is all about National Walking Month. And I'm going to be welcoming on our show former BA co-pilot James Heather. But before we meet him, let's take a look at this.
It was horrendous, let me tell you. I used to be a co-pilot for British Airways. Was in Paris for the night, flying back late the next day. and I was going out with a friend of mine who was also a pilot and 2 female cam crew. I was 26 at the time, and the parachute had a circular staircase. So being an idiot and trying to impress the girls, I jumped over the staircase. Now I thought I was on the ground floor, so I'd fall about 6 feet to make an impressive landing. But I wasn't, I was 18 feet up on the 2nd floor. So I fell 18 feet down onto the marble reception floor, and I should have died. My brain was expanding so much. They rushed me to hospital. Fortunately, though, the receptionist was also a nurse, so she took instant control of the situation. It took me 8 years to learn how to do that again, by the way. What they did, they cut a front piece of my skull out and put it in my abdomen to allow my brain to expand and then contract. So they put it back after 3 months. They could see my brain moving underneath my hair, my skin. And I was in a coma for 6 weeks. And the doctors told my parents that, unfortunately, my parents never told me that I may never walk or talk again after the accident. But in a bizarre way, I'm kind of grateful for this accident, because I'm a much happier and chilled up person now. So close to losing life, and I've had to learn to do everything again. Eating, walking, talking, doing Boston shoelaces, buttering toast, stirring a cup of coffee. I've been told I'm still a good kisser, so that didn't have to learn to do that again. I've been told what's happened, but I don't have any personal memory, because my memory's blanked for good reason, because I would go mad if I was constantly reminded what happened to me. Was easier than for my parents, because I've limited memory and I was in the coma. So for me personally, it isn't too traumatic because I don't have much memory of it, and I was in the coma for most of it, unlike my parents who've got full recall, and it's very upsetting for them.
But from almost about a week after the accident, there was always something good happened every day. It might have been a tube that was taken away or something. So progressed from there every day.
You're getting upset now.
A little bit better.
And look at me now. Because I nearly lost life. I just love life now. Just a pleasant way to live my life. Take notice of things that other people don't take notice of. Little tiny things during the day. Like today. a good sunny day and it's a pleasant day, and I do enjoy that. But other people make about their lives just being all serious and not interacting with the world around them.
So I'd like to thank Avenir Aliaj for that documentary, Sky's the Limit, which is on YouTube. So now it's time to meet the man himself, James. Hello, James.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So it's so lovely to have you here. That's quite a story you have there.
It's quite a story.
Wow. So just to recap, you were kind of trying to impress some ladies.
So what's going out for dinner with a friend of mine who's also a pilot and two female cabin crew. I'm 39 now, I was 26 at the time.
And you thought you were on the ground floor?
And to try and show off, I jumped over the banister to try and impress the girls.
Oh dear.
But it was a good or bad mistake, it depends on your point of view.
Yeah. So it obviously almost cost you your life. And actually you've got a big scar on, I can see a big scar there on your... Can we get a close-up of that? So, wow, that is huge. Gosh.
So what they did, my burn was expanding so much, they took a 4x5 piece of my skull and put it in my abdomen for 3 months.
Yeah. Wow. So you don't actually have, you were telling me earlier, you don't actually have any recollection of the accident, which is a good thing, because then obviously you're not reliving the trauma that you went through. But the interesting thing is how you've managed to get on with your life and actually appreciate life after the accident, because you couldn't walk, you couldn't talk, and you were saying on the video there that you basically had to relearn everything. What was that like?
See, my parents, I'm very fortunate to have such fantastic parents. See, they knew what was predicted for me, but they never told me. So I just, when I did things again, it was just part of my natural recovery. I was just naturally getting better, but from my parents who had been predicted that I might not do these things again, it was fantastic for them to see. Yeah.
So they obviously feared the worst when they first heard the news, and then they saw you.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel like, do you know what, I can't do this anymore, I'm not going to push myself because this is just too much? Or you're always like, I'm going to walk, I'm going to... How are you?
I'm a very positive person.
I can see that.
I never thought I might not walk again because I'd never been told I might never walk again.
Oh, so they didn't tell you?
No one told me. So
that's interesting, that is. Very interesting.
See, my parents knew, but they never told me. So that, because had they told me, I might still have been only with you now, who knows?
That's so true, isn't it?
But I just kept on improving myself.
And I know you're going to be doing something very special soon, aren't you, James?
No, hopefully there's a film being made about me.
I'm sure it's going to get there.
So it's on the screenplay, it's on the second draft at the moment, and I've got a producer who's kind of interested in making a film. It's at about 5% at the moment, but who knows, that might happen.
Yeah, I think it will, because the thing is, you know, you've pushed, you know, so much. So the accident was, you said 12
and a half years ago.
Have you seen a steady improvement? Are you still trying to improve, or?
You said, okay, the first year was so my improvement was almost vertical, but now it's all slow but steady. I am still improving, but in slow and steady ways. Just doing things for the second time, speaking, getting better. Things don't get so covered later, things which 7 days for granted. But I learned to do again, and I'm still doing things again for the second time.
Now, something that I found very interesting that you said in the video is it's like you are happier now than you were before the accident, because it's like you've learned to appreciate these little things, and you're taking notice of of things more. Can you tell us about that?
See, I just have been shut at a more relaxed person now.
Yeah.
Things, I just take pleasure in little things that happen during the day. Because I nearly lost everything.
Yeah.
So just taking pleasure in little things is a good way to spend the day. Just
definitely.
because people take so much for granted. They don't appreciate what they have.
It's so true. Now, what would you say to someone at home that's watching that is going through some kind of problem? Maybe they've had an accident or maybe something different and they're thinking, oh, I'm just going to give up. What would you say to them?
Okay, it's quite selfish, but I've got a lot of self-determination. So just be yourself and be very positive about the future. Because things might happen which are never predicted. Just be positive yourself. Have a lot of self-determination.
Yeah, and go for it. Because you can do. You're living proof that miracles happen, right?
Thanks.
James, it was lovely to speak to you. And I'm really looking forward to seeing that document because I'm sure something's going to happen with that, definitely.
Okay.
Now, if you've had a similar experience like James or have one of your own and want to share your story, get in touch by filling in the form on chrissybshow.tv or let us know your thoughts or advice on this subject by tweeting us at Chrissy B Show or comment on our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. We'll be right back.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to today's show where we are learning all about the importance of walking in support of National Walking Month. And just before the break, we met James Heather, who told us his remarkable story. And before we meet our next guest, we're going to play the second part of my adventure in Battersea Park and meet the people of all ages who join these weekly health walks. Now, we hear all about the green gym and being outdoors. So would you say, obviously, something like this is good for mental health too?
Yes, it is. Because it takes you out of yourself. It means you can engage with others, and whatever problems or worries you may have, maybe at the start of the walk, you tend to forget those as you walk and talk, and it gives you a sort of an uplift for some time afterwards. Not the rest of the day, but for some time afterwards. And so, for that reason, the walks are very beneficial.
Do you agree with that, Beth?
Yeah, definitely. Even for myself, when I come along and I chat to everybody here, like Simon, about football, I forget, oh, actually I need to go back to the office and do X, Y and Z. So yeah, it does work without even thinking about it. It's great.
So everyone, this is Manon and Deborah, and they do the walks regularly. So let's start with Manon, who's the youngest member of the group. So how did you get into this in the first place, Manon?
Well, actually, I'm an au pair at the moment in London, and I was looking for an opportunity to volunteer. And so I searched at Macmillan, which is a cancer support centre, and I stumbled on Walk for Health, and that really spoke to me. Because it's not just, getting exercise and stuff like that, it's also about the socialising. And that's just a big part.
How about you, Deborah? How did you get into it?
Well, I was just looking around my local library, and I noticed these health walks, and I thought they seemed a good idea, so I thought, well, I'll try it, see if I like it, and that was 5 years ago. And I think they're very good, the socialising, exercise, and I think what I like about it as well is that you can go out in all weathers. We don't stop just because it's raining, snowing, and that's what I like about it. We go out and we walk, and I think that's very good for you.
Right, guys, so there you have it. So you've heard all about the health walks here. It's definitely something you should consider. It's good for your mental health, good for your physical health, and also you get to be outdoors and meet lots of lovely people too. Back to the studio. I have to say, I really did enjoy myself. There was such a lovely bunch of people, really friendly, and I felt really comfortable, even though it was the very first time that I met them. So don't forget, it is free to join, so visit their website to find your local walking groups near you on walkingforhealth.org.uk. Now, our next guest has another story of remarkable success, and she joins us now via Skype. So let's welcome author and businesswoman Jackie Rom. Hello, Jackie.
Hi.
How are you, my lovely?
Very good, thank you.
So it's so good to meet you, Jackie, because you've got your own story about sort of coming from a kind of difficult situation, but you basically were put down by someone one day, but that kind of fueled you to fight for your dream. Can you tell us about that?
Of course I can. I was 15 years old, and I don't even know where this came from, but I was determined I wanted to be a director in film or TV. And I don't even know, because none of my family were in the business or anything. And I went to see the careers advisor at school, and she turned around and said, forget it, get yourself a proper job.
That's so rude.
Isn't it?
Careers advisors are supposed to, you know, supposed to encourage people to follow their dreams and everything. So what, was she trying to be helpful, or do you think she was trying to be difficult?
But it was a good, it was, in a way, it spurred something on, because I went away thinking, okay, let me prove her wrong.
Good.
And so I went away and thought to myself, how am I going to make this happen? And this is a long time ago now. There wasn't any internet. And I don't know how I found out about this, but I decided I was going to go to the London College of Fashion, become a makeup artist. That would get me onto a film set. From there, I'd become a director.
That's so smart.
For a 15-year-old who, you know, anyway.
You already had that business head, I would say,
really,
because
really young. I wrote my first play when I was 17 and directed it, and they were all over 18. So you can see I started young.
See, in that situation, someone may be hearing that, would say to themselves, you know what, maybe that person's right, maybe I shouldn't go for what I wanted to. So that all these kind of doubts come, but how would you advise someone that maybe is facing that kind of negative talk, how they would handle it?
I do this every day of the week because I work with young people. And time again, even today, careers advisors are still advising young people not to go into the world of entertainment. And I think that's such a shame. And I think that what's important is to believe there isn't anything you can't do if you try hard enough.
Yeah, okay.
Believe in yourself.
Definitely, like you have, which is brilliant. Now, tell us this kind of stuff you've been involved in and things like that.
Well, as I said, I started teaching at 17 and writing. I also became a makeup artist. And so my life went in all different directions.
So multi-talented as well, on top of everything else.
In the middle of everything else, because I've been writing all my life, a fun story is when I got to 50, I decided I was going to take a month off of work. And then I thought to myself, what am I going to do for a month? I can't do nothing. I know, I'll write a book, as one does. You know, this was my first book. From that book turned into 5 books. They were children, a set of 5 books, all about a little girl called Star, of course. And then I've just finished writing my first adult crime thriller.
Wow.
And that gets released in a month's time.
Wow, that's amazing. From makeup. So the first 4 you said were the children's book. So you said it was based on... Oh, first 5. Okay. Yeah. So that was about a little girl. About a little girl, you said.
Yeah, called Star. She's an actor. Gets a mate. It's all about pushy parents and a little girl who's an actor.
Was that based on anything similar to your life? Was it?
Yeah, by any chance? My lips are sealed.
Okay. What about future plans for you, Jackie?
I'm just about to launch 2 new businesses. I currently run, I think it's nearly 5 businesses and 2 social enterprises. I've got 2 launching. My book launches in a month, and I have a new business launching in 2 weeks. So I'm at the stage of life where nothing's impossible.
How do you manage to fit everything in, I think is the question on many of our viewers' minds at home, because it's like, hello, how many things can you be involved in at the same time?
I think probably I would be diagnosed now as hyperactive. I don't sleep. I think most entrepreneurs work the same way. Our brains are always going. Give us a little instance and we'll go off. And I think it's a trait. I really do. I think it's something that's in here.
Okay. Do you think it can be learned though, Jackie? If someone's maybe not that way inclined, do you think it's something that they can actually develop themselves to have that kind of drive?
I think that you can put spark and hope and want, but I really do think that a serial entrepreneur is born. Okay.
So Jackie, I know you also had a personal battle with your health. Can you tell us what happened there?
Yes, I have Crohn's disease, but it wasn't diagnosed till I got to 40. And my mum thinks I've had it since I was 5 years old. And at the age of 40, I was taken very ill and ended up in a wheelchair and eventually had a lot of my stomach removed.
Can you tell us what the condition actually does?
Yeah, Crohn's disease is an inflammation of the small bowel. Okay. So I had 15 inches of my bowel removed and sewn back up.
Wow. Yep. So, but even through that, how long were you sort of incapacitated for, or weren't you?
Probably a year. I didn't eat for 6 months. I got down very, very, very low weight, and then it took after the operation another 6 months. So I was probably out for about a year, and very low. And then coming out of it, I had an idea, as I do, and started off a new business. And it was the business. I went into the music business. I'd never been in the music business before. I had 3 young ladies that I'd trained when they were young, most amazing voices. So I decided to put them together, create a girl band. And literally as it happened, they ended up on television, winning a talent competition, and we were off and running around the country.
Oh, wow.
So time, right place.
Where maybe some people would have fallen into depression, because you did mention that you did feel quite low at the time.
It was a long way out. But
how did you actually pull yourself out of those feelings that you were having?
I think that family is very important, friends are important, and then to have a spark of an idea that gives you the want. And I think a want is really important. Okay.
And obviously all the things that you've achieved, they didn't come easy. You must have had some struggles or some resistance. Did that happen to you, and how did you get through that?
Well, I got divorced when my daughter was 2 years old, and it was just the 2 of us. So I've had times where I've kind of had to do a boot sale to raise some money to eat. So, I mean, we've been down to our last penny. Yeah. So I think you really, when you've done that, you really appreciate everything. I appreciate that I can go to Tesco's now and buy whatever I want.
Oh, bless.
Honestly, it's such a treat.
It's true.
When you've been down and you can't, go around Tesco's, you had to budget. Yeah. And now I don't. And we're very lucky. We have a property abroad, and I sit there and I just sit there and look and appreciate.
Well, you deserve it because you've worked really hard, darling.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, Jack, and all the best for your future. I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot more from you.
I hope so.
I have a feeling. Alrighty, see you. Okay, guys, so don't go away, because after this quick break, I'll be sharing my own wisdom on how to persevere through life's ups and downs. Only here on the Chrissy B Show.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Hello again and welcome back to National Walking Month here on the Chrissy B Show. Now, I personally love to walk and exercise, and in fact, I prefer walking over a spa any day. And when I was depressed, it did alleviate some of those low feelings that I was having, but often exercise and a healthy lifestyle are enough to lift your mood permanently. But I personally need to look for more help to get rid of the problem completely. And to find out how I kicked depression out of my life, you can read my story on mylifeafterdepression.com. But whether you are depressed or not, always maintain a healthy lifestyle, because it always does you good. And also when I had depression, for me, it wasn't very quick to recover from it, but step by step, I got there. So you can definitely do that too. So I'm going to give you some tips now on how to persevere. So the first one is to work hard. So there's definitely no easy way to get what you want. The only way to do it is to sweat for it. Now, experts say that it takes around 10,000 hours of practice to become an expert at something. So I'll ask you this, how many hours have you put into what you want to do? So they always say nothing in life comes easy, and it's very true. So you definitely have to work hard. Number two, tell them to shut up. Now, I'm not telling you to be rude, and I'm not talking about saying that to people. But there's a saying that I love that says life begins at the edge of your comfort zone, and it's so true. If you choose to play it safe all the time, you're not likely to get very far. So when those voices in your head come to tell you that it's a stupid idea or that you don't have what it takes, I would just tell them, shut up, get out of my head, I'm gonna go and do what I want. As we heard Jackie's story earlier, that careers advisor said, oh, you're never gonna make it. Okay, she didn't tell the woman to shut up, which was a good thing, but inside of her, she rejected that negative talk and she went for what she wanted, so you can do the same too. Number three, don't wait for fear to disappear, because it probably won't. So if I waited, I probably would never have started this show, because when I was first offered this, I was kind of nervous about it, and I thought, what if it doesn't work out? What if I'm no good on my own with the other presenters around me? But I thought, you know what? I'm going to put the fear aside and I'm just going to go for it. And I love doing this show today. So do it despite the fear, and that's when the fear will actually go when you take the action to move towards something. If you wait for the feeling to go, it won't. So just go for it. Number four, and something that I did, is to create a vision board. Now, I do have one of these at home, and it keeps my mind focused on what I want to achieve. So when things get tough, it reminds me of my goals. So all you need to do, you can just get a big piece of paper, or do it on online if you want, on your laptop or whatever. And you put pictures of what you want to achieve in your life. So it's good to actually do it on paper so you can stick it up on your wall and see it every day. And I have mine there, and two of those goals that I've put on there have already been achieved, and I'm really happy about that, and it spurs me to go on, and I'm going to add other things to it. So it's something that's really good, that will really keep your mind focused on what you want to do and will motivate you as well. So do try that. Number five is to grow a thick skin. So whenever you want to achieve something great in life, especially if you're aiming to do something that no one else has done, expect resistance and hurdles. So, you know, you will get, maybe from well-intentioned people, it could be your parents, it could be friends saying, oh, you know what, don't do that. I tried it and it didn't work. Or your parents might say, for example, look, don't go there. You've studied for something else. Why are you going to go into that field? No one succeeds in that. And you hear these things, and sometimes they're just trying to help. But when it's something out of the box, you do come across some of these negative comments, as we spoke about earlier. So the trick is, don't complain about things, or don't kind of argue with people, but just clear your mind and just keep going. Number six, go the extra mile. Now this one is a very tough one, and you have to be really focused on your go for this one. So do extra than the norm, do more than what is expected of you. Now I've managed a team of people, and I really saw the difference of how people work. There were those that kind of just did the absolute, well actually there were those that weren't doing even what was expected. So obviously I couldn't rely on those people. There were others that did just, you know, they did everything they were supposed to do and nothing more. So those people I could kind of trust, and I knew they'd get the work done. But there were others, and these ones I absolutely love to work with, are the ones that do more than is expected. And they were actually the ones that got promoted, and, you know, they got pay rises, and they did really well. So think about that, because a lot of people just do average. So you need to take it up a step and do more. Number seven, start the day right. Now, before checking your social media or anything else that's distracting, start your day by having some quiet time. In my case, I love to pray in the morning and meditate, so just it helps me clear my mind and see things clearly. So for you, it could be something else. But I've actually woken up a few times, and the first thing I would do is look at my messages and tweets and everything, and it's such a bad way to start your day, and it's distracting. So don't before you do anything else, just take some time to think, some quiet time, and just to get yourself focused on your day, and it's really going to help you. And of course, don't forget to have a really good breakfast, because that's good for your brain. And number 8, have positive friends around you. Now this one is so important because, as I said before, sometimes you will have resistance. So try and kind of join with people that also, they like to go for the goals, they like to step out of their comfort zone. If you hang around with people like that, you're more likely to stick to your goals as well, because you'll spur each other on. If when something goes wrong, the other one will say, go on, you can do it, keep going. So it'll be really helpful for you, rather than hanging around people all the time that aren't really doing anything with their life. They can't be bothered, they're lazy. So it's better to associate yourself with people with similar goals. All right, guys, so that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed the show as much as I have and learned something really useful. So the main thing is, never ever lose hope. And as cheesy as it sounds, never give up on your dreams, and just do it all one step at a time. So that's all we've got time for today. But if you do have a story to tell us, an experience to share to help educate, inspire and motivate others, do contact us by filling in the form on chrissybshow.tv. And also, if you're doing or have done something for National Walking Month, let us know as well by tweeting us at Chrissy B Show or comment on our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. Till next time, bye-bye for now.